Welcome back to the Sound for More channel. It's Leo speaking. Today I'm going to show you how you can send MIDI events, MIDI notes between one track to the other inside Logic Pro for iPad, but using Drambo. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so why doing this with Drambo? Well, because if you want to send MIDI events from one track to the other without creating, for example, a summing stack, well, you can't do it yet inside Logic Pro for iPad. Additionally, if you then want to record an arpeggiator that is running in a track which is also receiving MIDI information like a chord progression, you can't do that unless you use some form of external help. Okay, so first of all, let's load Drambo like so, and let's ensure that on the track we have input as a MIDI, all, any channel, any note, and we set it to receive MIDI always. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to the menu, settings, and then I'm going to scroll down and ensure that the background audio is set to on. By default is set to off. Okay, off, on, infinite, not for a number of an amount of time. Okay, next, what I want to do is to actually load Logic Pro for iPad and create a new project, select tracks, and insert a MIDI track. Okay, so we're going to create a MIDI region. We select it, we make it 2 bars, okay? And then we go inside and open the piano roll and create some chords. Nothing really fancy. Something that we can use as a chord progression, okay? Something like that, and let's close the piano roll and let's play. Okay, perfect. Now, let's ensure that we create a new track now, and in that new track we are going to add an arpeggiator. Like so, because I want that chord progression going to on the first track to go to the second track, and then I want for the arpeggiator to arpeggiate the notes which are coming from that chord progression. Of course, I can add the arpeggiator on the first track itself like that. The problem is, if you try to record now the output of the arpeggiator onto that track, it will not work. Okay, so, and let's remove that, and let's ensure we have the arpeggiator there. Okay, perfect. Now let's check the inspector for the first track. Let's go to the up to the track. It's sent to receive from any MIDI input port. We don't really need that. It's going to send notes to any channel and is receiving from any channel, but we set the port to off. Okay, so we don't need to set anything on the MIDI input channel. Okay, something else I also noted is that, or found out, is that if you go to the piano roll and you select all the different notes, like select all, and then you go to the inspector, sometimes they don't have the same MIDI channel, and that's quite bizarre, because I created all the same time. This one as channel number 1, this one is channel number 2, so I definitely encourage to reset the channel to the same channel, although you don't have to do it for this demonstration, but it's useful to know in case you notice some strange behavior. I think it's more so. Okay, so next what we are going to do is if you we ensure that also Logic Pro on the settings under general here for the app settings is running in background mode. Remember, this will absorb some of your battery and it might give you performance issues as well on other application. Now, if I move to Drambo and You see, I have only that track there, but if I click play here, you didn't see any activity here coming into Drambo, right? So let's go back to Logic Pro and let's now go to the plugin editor and let's replace that e-piano with an external instrument. Okay, and let's open up that external instrument and set as a MIDI destination the Logic Pro virtual output. Okay, now let's close this and actually let's activate the loop so we'll continue to loop. Okay, and now let's click play. You don't hear anything because I removed the instrument, that electric piano, and of course I set it to go to Drambo. Now you can see a blip here on the main track. Let's activate track. You can see the chords coming, C minor here, and then E flat major coming there. Indeed, let's say that we put 3 notes there and then we add an instrument, like the FM operator, you will hear sound. So Drambo in this case is receiving notes from Logic Pro. Now let's click add here and let's go to MIDI and add a MIDI output. And this is the last step. And let's set it as a destination to Logic Pro virtual input port. Okay. Now let's move away here and let's go here on this second track. Now you hear the arpeggiator going, so he's receiving notes from the MIDI region from the first track via Drambo, and then of course he's playing the arpeggiator. Now if I try to record that track, what you have, let's remove these take, like so, delete take, you have chord. You don't have the arpeggiating notes. And the reason for that, let's delete that and let's remove the cycle, is because I have not set the arpeggiator inside track 2 to record to the MIDI track, which I can do like so, right? Click and hold on the arpeggiator, plug in and set record MIDI to track here. Back at the beginning, record. Now let's stop. And let's close the plugin editor. Let's go to the piano roll for this MIDI region. Now, it's not perfect because you do have some delay, softer delay, some latency. And you can see here at the beginning it's not correct. So what you will have to do is to select everything and then adjust it a little bit. You also notice that there are some notes here on the change of the chord which should not be in there, so I suggest that you just remove them like so, okay, and then you do adjustment like I'm doing now. Oops. Okay. Let's oops, like that. Doesn't let me do it at the moment. That's fine. Because I have Auto Smart on. So okay, that's perfect in that particular case. And then let's do the last one, which is this one. Okay, so you have to make some adjustment like so. But when you have done the adjustment, which are very tiny, you're good to go. So for example, let's mute these 2 tracks. And let's create a new track with a new software instrument. Let's drag this track down like so. I could have copied it, of course. And let's trim it like so. So we don't have that, well, looks nice, trimmed. And then let's click play while the first 2 tracks are muted. Okay, and of course you can put in on the cycle. Okay, that's one way that you can record from one MIDI track to another MIDI track, but in this case we needed to have a little bit of help. Just to recap, the first track is sending MIDI output out through an external instrument into Drambo, and Drambo is resending it back into the second track here inside the Logic Pro for iPad, of course. And we're using the Logic Pro virtual input and output ports to achieve this. Okay, see you next time. Thank you. Bye.